What up, my dudes? Perfect opportunity today. 75 books come in from CGC. Actually, two of these boxes I already had in. I just hadn't opened. This box came in, and I don't know what's in it. I think I know what's in there. But I think this was sent to Mr. Kendra. Another box sent to Mr. Kendra like a year ago. And I just got it back. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, unless they ship me some books early. But anyway, perfect opportunity to show you guys books that I'm going to be selling, and I bought it specifically to press, grade, and sell. And I think the other two boxes are going to be just spec books that I'm going to hold. Of course, the more expensive ones are going to be the spec books that I'm holding, because I'm already tying money into the grading and into the pressing, which probably costs more than the book itself. So that's a lot of money to hold, and you don't know how long you're going to hold it for. So it's a learning experience, right? But the reason I can do it is because of the books that I'm going to be selling. Right, so that's why it's a learning experience. And all right, let's take a look what we got here. We're gonna open up the box here first, and I don't know what it is. Oh my God, man, these are really good books. I mean, for me, I'm so happy with this. I looked it over already. I'm gonna show you guys what's in here. Now, they're like, one particular book here is a spec book. The other one, you know what? It's a great character. I might as well just show them to you. But I mean, it's nothing but good stuff. I predicted that I was going to be the primary owner of most of the 9.8s for the Master Chief, and you know what? I definitely am. First of all, there's less than 100 9.8s graded by CGC right now. I have more than half of all the 9.8s. I think there might be like 60 by now. I have more than half of those. All right. Why? Because this is actually a book I spec on back in the day, only because it's the Master Chief. Iconic character, an all-time great character, not in comics, but this was his first comic book. It was in a preview for a graphic novel. This book, actually, I believe this came with the graphic novels. Got it from Toy Wiz because they weren't selling them in my local comic shop. They weren't carrying them, and they said they weren't going to carry it anyway. So I went after 50 of them, and they're all in pristine condition, and all of them haven't come in 9.8, but most of them have come in 9.8. 6 more 9.8s come in this box here. There's only 2 books in this box, guys. I'll show you the next book. It's another spec book, but I wanted to have these already graded. They needed presses, but all right. About this, look, today's market, right? People buy based on, and this has been the case for, I don't know, probably the past decade, but people buy based on what character is going to be making, a movie debut or whatever. And then once whatever that series or movie comes out, if it sucks, then the character takes a dive. And I think that's what happened to the Master Chief. Master Chief, this book was going for like $1,000 at one point, but now it's dropped. The last one I sold was for $350 on my comic shop, and I've only sold 3 of them, by the way. But I'm planning on holding well, no, not all of them, but I'm planning on holding the vast majority. I might put one of these 6 up for sale. Yeah, I think I might send one of these 6 to my comic shop this week or next week. Only because of the grading. Look, you have to break even at some point. You got to break even. So I've more than broke even on it because of the 3 that I sold. But I want to dip a little further into that pot, right? And still hold the majority of them. Of course, you know that a couple of these are going to stay in the PC forever, right? Because it's the Master Chief, man, and Cortana's in the back, okay? But it's the Master Chief. And the gaming community just did not like the series, even though it's been renewed for like 2 more seasons. But look, you don't know what a director's gonna do with whatever project. You know, take a look at Doctor Strange, right? I was specking on New Avengers. I bought 10 New Avengers number 7s, right? I didn't think that they were gonna. How the hell was I supposed to know they're gonna kill every single one of the Illuminati? How are you supposed to know that? Reed Richards, smartest man on the planet, not smart enough to stay alive for 2 freaking seconds, right? That's Sam Raimi for you, right? This is gonna be a rant. Black Bolt. How the hell does Black Bolt, his own power, kills him? His own power. I mean, the guy. First of all, in comics, I mean, does Sam Raimi even read? In comics, he doesn't even use his voice. He restrains himself from using his voice. And here, he wants to talk all the freaking time, you know? And even if he wants to talk, why does he have teeth? Why does Black Bolt have teeth? Right? At some point, he must have talked, right? But his own voice blows a hole inside of him, you know? It's just so idiotic that he has to, like, okay, so let's say Wanda does do that to his mouth, right? Okay, she does that with her hex powers, whatever, right? Why can't he just use his strength? He could just overpower her. What's she gonna do to him? She ain't gonna do nothing to him. She ain't doing shit to Black Bolt. Okay? Nothing. He could just like that, boom, blow her freaking head off. Alright? It's just idiotic, man. Idiotic. Reed Richards, smartest man alive. 2 seconds he lasted against her. 2 seconds. What did she do? She stretched him? I mean, the guy can't stretch? Stretched and blew his head off. Alright? Who cares about Captain Carter? Nobody gives a damn. But she's the one who's lasted the longest, I think, right? And then Captain Marvel. I mean, why bring the Illuminati in if all you're going to do is just trash them, every single one of them? Why? That book, even before the movie, right? Before it got hot, it was a $200 9.8 before it got hot. And this was when nothing was happening, right? It gets hot, it goes up to $500, and then slowly just keeps dropping and dropping. It's under 200 again. Okay, so for a 9.8, it's still going to be a win for me regardless because of the prices that I got them at. Now, I haven't gotten the variants in the grades. I'm hoping most of them are going to be 9.8s. But yeah, it's just a disappointment as far as that goes. But that's how things go, right? You get, Miles Morales. Nobody gave a damn about Miles Morales when he first came out. As a matter of fact, people were writing to Marvel saying, what the hell are you guys doing with Peter Parker, right? You're replacing him. It's a replacement for Peter Parker. It wasn't until his Spider-Verse movie that everything turned around for him, and then everybody wanted those books after that because it was a great project, and that's actually what made him. But the truth is, what made him was the fact that Peter Parker was in that movie and pretty much pass the torch, right? That's what made him. Peter Parker's not in that movie. Miles Morales, we're not talking about him right now. His book is not a $3,000 book if Peter Parker's not in that film. All right. Next book. Oh, man, I had to get that off me. Manny TALAVERA. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. 9.4 Magic the Gathering, Shadow Mage #1. This book is probably going to be a loss if I were to sell it today, and I think I will, though. I think I will. I got one 9.4. I got another 9.6. I did get a 9.6 in a different submission that I sent. That's CCS pressed. CCS pressed. These were sent to Kendra. All right. Here's the good news. Manny TALAVERA got me into these books. Right. This is the very first book published for Magic the Gathering, a comic book. Very first comic book ever for Magic the Gathering. Right. I actually read this book and it was pretty decent, man. Pretty decent. All right. The Shadow Mage. 1995. I don't believe too many of these were actually printed. But yeah, you go out there, you're probably gonna see probably a ton of them on eBay. The thing is that these came in poly bags, and the poly bags could be beat up, probably will be beat up. I found a lot of them that I think it was like a lot of more than 20, and I bought them all, right? $10 each. $10 each, maybe a little bit more than that with shipping, right? 194, 196, and the rest 17. 17 9.8. Very first book ever published for Magic the Gathering. This is from Armada. All of them 9.8s, along with the halos. Very happy with this. Look, not too long ago, this book was selling for $400. Actually sold for $400. I'm pretty sure it's taken a dive. I haven't checked. Manny TALAVERA. I don't know if you sent yours out to be graded, my friend. If you don't have a 9.8, let me know, and this one will be yours. Okay, just let me know if you don't. All right. I've been looking for something to give you, man, but yeah, this one's yours, right? My guys, my core, man, my core. I've been looking for things. Wayne, I'm still looking for you, bro. Darth Biscuit, you know what? I got the perfect thing for you too. All right, hasn't come in yet though. But damn, I love this freaking book, Manny. Just email me if you didn't get yours. If not, I'll look for something else to give you, man. But thank you for the spec, my friend. This is what I'm talking about, man. It's good vibes, man. Good vibes. Positive. Nothing but positive thinking here. And you know how big that franchise is? Oh boy. And now they got a series that's going to be coming out. Of course that series could suck, and then these books tank. Hey, even look, Master Chief tanked, right? Master Chief is an all-time great character. Do you think I'm worried about him? Like Fantastic Four, every time they came out with a shitty movie, which is like always, okay, Fantastic Four 48 would drop. Okay, you think I sold it? No, it's a Silver Surfer, man. I'm not selling it. but it would drop drastically every time, especially when they came out with his first appearance and his power was his surfboard. No, great characters. You hold on to them. This is a great franchise. Now, there's not a specific character in this. It just happens to be the first story for Magic the Gathering. It's a key, right? And it's the first book ever. So it's kind of like Comics 26, which, by the way, sold for a lot less than I thought it was going to sell for. It sold for just under $500 today for a 9.0. Now the third highest. Now, yes, I still own the top 3 grades because I own one more 9.0, the 9.4 and the 9.6, but it's still, for that type of book, there's only 2 other books that are higher, and it's sold for less than $500. Congratulations, whoever got it. And damn, I might take Wilbert's suggestion and maybe put the other 9.0 for a G and just put it out there for like a month before eBay starts charging me fees. You know, maybe put it out there, see if anybody wants it for a G. Look, I still make a profit off Comics 26. It's just a disappointment because I know how hard that book is to find, especially in that grade, already graded to 9.0. It is what it is, my homies. It is what it is. That's the first box. Complete success for the box. All right. I don't know if I have time for the other 2 boxes, man. How long is this video already? I keep fucking ranting on 2 books. Spec lot. Some of these will be sold right away. They're going to be sent to my comic shop and will be sold, but very few of these, okay? 22 out of 25 come back. 9.8 pre-screens. Success, because what I wanted, obviously, I wanted to just encase them and have 9.8s, right? I'll show you the books that are in here. Nothing spectacular that you're going to say, oh, you know, but stuff that has big time potential, in my opinion. And then some of the other ones are just things that I thought that I could move if they came back at 9.8s, because with moderns, of course, brand new moderns, unfortunately, you want 9.8s to sell because people, that's what they're looking for. And, you know. All right, I'll show you guys what's in here. Black Panther #1, the new series. Only reason I went after this is, 1, I paid cover price for them. 2, Alex Ross cover. It was a variant, second printing. Alex Ross, there it is right there. Look how freaking beautiful this cover is, man. That is a pretty cover for cover price. Listen, this isn't no Almost American, okay? Black Panther, very well known, has a fan base, has a movie. Didn't buy it for the movie. I try not to buy because of movies. I really try. Can't say I always look away from movies, because that'd be wrong. All right, but I just thought this was something that would sell, quick for a 9.8, and hopefully I can make like a double profit on it. Maybe I can double my profit on it, right? We'll see. I'm putting these on auction on my comic shop. I'm going to send 2 of them out this week or next week. I got 4 of them back. 4. I don't know if I bought 5. Maybe I missed one of these. Might have missed. Maybe I did buy 4. But either way, 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 4. Yeah, I'll take it. The intention was to get the 9.8. That's what I got. And yeah, first one, good news. I don't know what the hell I was looking at. There's 5 Black Panther #1, so all 5 made the 9.8. It's 5 of them. I thought it was 4. All right. Sorry. 5 9.8s. Even better news, right? Because I think this one will sell for more than probably this one. This character has, I'm not going to say she's died down, but, she's definitely cooled down big time. I still think I can make a profit because I paid minimal price for these. Yeah, minimal price. This was $5.99. I did not pay $5.99. It came out more than that because of shipping. Bought them on eBay actually. I think it was maybe $8 a book. Sent 2 of them out, 9.8s. Yeah, just wanted to move them. That's really what it was. I just wanted to move them. I want to see if I can get $75 for it. You think I can? Not sure, but maybe. Even at $60, I make a pretty decent profit. You know. Next one. Perfect book right here just for you guys to see into my mind, into my lunacy. Is it lunacy? Is it? It might be. Maybe I might be a lunatic. All right. Geiger number 1. I don't know how many I sent. I know I got back 8 9.8s. Yeah. Intention was to get them graded. I remember now why I sent these in. Sent these in because I wanted 9.8s at a lower prices. I sent these in before the price hike, the last price hike. So I said, you know what? Let me try and get these. If I'm gonna hold them anyway, the raws, might as well just hold the 9.8s. Have some conviction, spec collector, I says, and send them in. Hold the 9.8s. So that box is gonna pay for me holding these books. Right. Hopefully. All right. Yeah, this is just, look, that's how much I believe in this book, right? Is this Something's Killing the Children? No, I don't believe in it like that, okay? Something's Killing the Children, that is an all-time great character. I don't know if Geiger is going to be an all-time, but I just think he's a solid character to hold on for now. And it's a perfect one for somebody to, if it's cheap, they can get the rights for this for cheap for somebody to make a project on a Netflix or something. Rather than going after Marvel properties, they can go after Image properties. Perfect storyline for a big time film or project. And yeah, that's my thinking. Now, could it be a 20-year hold? Yeah, that's the problem. That's where you go into the mind of the spec collector, and the spec collector doesn't care about holding him that long. I really don't. All right. If you do, then you should not be buying these. The majority of speculators, they'll buy a book and hold it for, I don't know, 6 months and probably expect to turn a 100% profit on it. Not the way that you should be thinking, you know. Even though when I buy books like what's in this box, yes, that's kind of like what I'm thinking. But to buy them, grade them, and sell them now, these I'm buying them, grading them, and holding for a long time. I don't know how long this is gonna be. Technically, I could probably sell this for a profit now anyway. I'm pretty sure I can get $60 for a 9.8. But yeah, if I put it on auction, maybe $40 is what it'll go on auction, maybe. All right, but it wouldn't be on auction. It would be like $60. But I'm not. That's not the reason why why I bought them. Only thing with the cover A's though is I'm pretty sure, I don't know the exact print run, but I gotta think it's right around 100,000. I gotta think that's what it is. If anybody knows it, please put it in the comments, okay? 8 books, 8 more 9.8s being held by the Spec Collector for 2 decades. Will it be for 2 decades? I am holding the UK versions, I'll tell you that. The Raws, definitely holding those babies. Probably in the PC, and if it ever hits big, then that's when maybe a couple of those could get sold. But yeah, they'll be in the PC for a while. Next book. This is a property that I pray that it does well. I want this project with HBO to go through and to really hit big. Not because I want to make a profit, by the way. Of course, yes, that would be nice also, okay? But because I really like Sebastian Jones. Sebastian Jones is the CEO of Stranger Comics and the creator of this world. The world of Asunda and its characters, you know, the Stranger and Niobe. But yeah, I just want him to succeed, man. I really do. He's a down-to-earth dude. He interacts with the community. He shows up in, like, I mean, what CEO do you see that shows up in auctions with the little guys, you know, to promote his company, you know, because his company is very small, you know, very small company. He hits it big, man. Yeah, that's the kind of guy that you want to root for. That's the American dream, my friends. The American dream, and he's got a good product. And I hope that the rest of the people that like comics and maybe like you know, worlds such as Lord of the Rings and the Witcher, Elden Ring, will get a hold of this. Magic the Gathering, you know, we just show that, right? Take something like this and make it big as well, you know. Only 3 came back, 9.8s. In this book, by the way, it's a limited foil. It was an error copy. This is an error edition. I did get one of these already in a 9.8. I bought 5, so I got 4 9.8s. But in this box, there's only 3 of these. I also bought 5 of the next one that I'm going to show you, which is probably a little bit bigger of a book, but these 2 are, what happens with this is Tales of Asunda number 0, and the error is that they printed the Untamed inside here. So the cover is Tales of Asunda, but the story is the Untamed. I'll show you the other error. All right, Spec Collector channel. Yeah, we are known for different things. One is that we got bad lighting here. Bad lighting, awful. Look at the Newton rings on this baby. But anyway, see, look at that. That's the foil that kind of shines. It looks actually spectacular if you see it without my lighting here. See that? If I turn it, nice, nice. Sorry, guys, that you can't appreciate it. This is the Untamed, but it has an error, and the error is that they printed Tales of Asunda 0 on this one. So it's a backward error of the other one, you know. So I believe that each one of these was there was only 50 of each, I believe. Could be 100, but no more than that. I'm almost positive it was 50. Some of you guys may remember, because sometimes I put out like little videos, and I think I did that with this one, just like I did with John Tyler Christopher and the Scarlet Witch today. Magnificent cover. I can't believe it didn't sell out by 7 p.m. I actually bought like 8 more at 7 p.m. today. Some of you guys might have seen that video, I hope. it's just a great cover, and I think it's gonna sell well for me, you know. But anyway, this one here is gonna be a hold. Just a hold. I might send one out to get sold, maybe. 4 of them came back 9.8. I bought 5, so one of them is gonna be a failure. One of them is gonna be in there. And those are the books for this pre-screen. Let's see what failed. One of them will be this one, though. Man, do I love this cover. I already have a few of these in 9.8. I thought I can get away with another one here, but I guess not. Yeah, I could see a little bit. You see that? You can see a little bit of a... it's like a soft shell of a cover right there, but it can come out with a press. I gotta learn to press, dudes. I gotta learn to press. It's gonna save me time and money if I just buy a press and do it myself. I just gotta, especially for books like this, right? And of course, this one didn't make it, and one of these didn't make it, so I guess I sent 3 of these out. Well, no, I did send 3 of those out. I want to show you guys the back cover of this. This is a spectacular book. Okay, I don't think it was the cut, because see the cut? Can't really do much about the cut. See right there? And plus, yeah, that should be like in the manufacturing. Look at the artwork on this thing, man. And I don't want to really stress it too much, but I want you guys to see the back cover. Look at that. No expense. No expense. This didn't make a 9.8. That looks nice to me, though. It does look nice. I gotta check it for fingerprints. I can't think that they would fail it because of the cut. Maybe that's what it was, but I don't know. Whatever, dudes. Whatever, dudes. Alright, those are the 3. Do we have time for these? So these are going to be the books that pay for those other books that I'm holding. This is the reason why I can hold so many books. It's because I'm going to sell every single one of these books but one. I divided this into 4 lots. I thank the 3 people that offered suggestions, and I took you guys up on it. Some of them double, right? I made adjustments to them, right? But Jay West, Great Expectations, and Jimmy Bowers, man, taking from each one of you. These right here are going to be my flops, duds, losses. These, luckily, that's a small pile, but big enough to make me weep. Even Stevens. These are the ones we're going to be breaking even on. Maybe just a tad wetting my beak. Maybe I might change that to tad wetting beak on the bottom, but still going to be even Stevens. For the most part, these are even Stevens. I'm not going to lose money on it, in other words. This stack is the 50 to 100% profits. You know, if anybody can come back with a better word for it, it's 50 to 100% profits. That's really what it is, right? So these are wins. They're wins, but 50 to 100%. I put it in the 3rd pile. And then this is the pile. These are the jackpots. This is why we do this. This is over 100% profit. Anything over 100% profit is in here. All right? We're going to start off with this baby right here. In the last one, I had a 6.5 Secret Wars number 3. This is a newsstand. Bought this from Sans. Sans said this was a candidate. I agreed with it. This did have a crease, however, but it was not color breaking. According to CGC, it is a color breaking crease. So maybe when it got pressed, it broke color, and they are right. I think when it got pressed, it did break color, and you could actually see the break of color right there. So this is a 7.0 without a shadow of a doubt because of the break in color on that crease. Now keep this in mind. That Secret Wars did not break color, and you couldn't even see the crease, and it was a 6.5, okay? And it can probably be pressed out. Look, I don't blame Mr. Kendra. These are all pressed by Mr. Kendra. I don't blame Mr. Kendra for say not getting the crease on the 6.5. Look, he's not. Independent pressers are not going to take the time on your book. They have other customers, so I'm pretty sure he's only going to press the book one time. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% on it, you know. But for the majority of pressers, including CCS, I would say that, you know, yeah, I'm happy, definitely happy with his work, you know. But yeah, I don't expect him to, like, say for that Secret Wars 3, to put it under the press, you know, 4 times, which is probably what it would take to get that crease out. I don't expect him to do that. You know, it's too many books for him to press, too many customers that he has to take care of. So every now and then I get a book that, you know, like this, that just doesn't come out right. And this is a loss. Without a shadow of a doubt, this will be a loss, you know, because it's still a modern book, and people are not going to really be wanting to. I mean, they'll take a 7.0, but they're not paying top dollar for it. So, yeah, this is a flop, a dud, a loss. Next one, that's a loss. Yeah, here's Mr. Sam Raimi. Thank you, Sam Raimi, for this. I don't know why this ended up being an 8.5. I didn't look at the, let me see. I think this is the one that might have had some ticks. Yeah, it has some wear. 8.5 is a little rough, but it does have some, yeah, you see that? You know, the funny thing is, I've seen 9.8s with color rub, but they're not letting things pass now, you know. This is with the bag in it, the guy said. They're not letting too many things pass. 8.5 is a loss, okay? And it's a loss because even though I didn't pay much for that book, 8.5 is, it's not going to be the equivalent of the press, the grade, and the price of the book. 8.5, this is part of the 10. I've been getting really bad grades on this. I did get a 9.8 in an unboxing that I did. So it's the, out of the 10 books, I've only gotten one 9.8 so far, and I believe I have one more box to go to see if I can get another one, but I don't think it's looking so good. I think out of those 10, I'm only going to end up with one 9.8. That will be a loss, unfortunately, because of the grade. This is a 9.2. Even a 9.2, I'm counting that as a loss. All right, because I paid $25 for each book. 25 bucks, man. So 9.2, even if I sell that for 50 bucks, even 60 bucks, it would still be a loss. 8.5 on that, again, a loss, another loss. And 9.0, you know, this one's interesting because this might not be a loss. I'm putting it as a loss because I paid $30 per book for these, for 10 of them. However, this was a great buy for me. Absolutely a great buy. I will count this one as a loss. It's a direct, by the way. All 10 of them were directs. But I've gotten... we'll talk about that in a second. Those are my flops, duds, losses. Let's go to the even Stevens. Even Stevens. All right. It's a 7.5. How can that be an even, man? Yes, it can be an even because this is a book from 1975. Hey, is that the bag? Please tell me that's the bag. Yeah, it is the bag. Okay. It's a book from 1975, and it's still worth some money, even in this. I made sure I bought this one on eBay that it was pretty nice. I mean, on the pictures, looked nice to me. I haven't seen. Let me see that right there. Yeah, I guess the press didn't get that out. Didn't get that out. I bet this can probably be pressed again. And see, this is what I mean. Like, if you were to press your own books, you could probably, you know, spend a lot more time with it. Like, look, see, that you can't do much about. So that's probably why it's a 7.5 right there. You know, it's a lot of foxing, man. It's a lot of foxing. You can't do much about that. Cannot blame Kendra for that, though. You know, can't get that out. I mean, there's people that can probably get that out, but yeah, I can't blame her for that. You know, I would have to say, just based on the fact of how the book looks, that's a pretty damn nice grade for that. But this is going on the even Stevens, and this will probably net me some profit, actually. The even Stevens, like I said, I can probably wet my beak with some of these, but I know for a fact I didn't lose money on these, on the even Stevens, so I won't lose money on that for sure. Here's the next book I'm going to show you. It's something that CGC grades really rough. Wolverine #1, the first patch. If you have one of these, man, good luck. They grade this super tough. I've gotten these back in 7.5s thinking that they were like 9.8s. Okay, these look like in great condition. No tick marks that I remember on. I sent 2 of them. No tick. See, look, you didn't see it. No tick marks, right? Nothing. Maybe, right? Maybe. You know what? This one does have that. Yeah, that warrants a 9.4. Is that broken? No, that's not broken. Nah, that's not broken. That's the ribbon. Okay, good. For a second there, I thought that was broken, but no. All right, 9.4. Love the back cover. Nice, nice. That would be an even Steven for me after the grading. This will be even as well because this is picking up heat. 9.4. We'll make a little bit of profit. Most of these I'll make a little bit of a profit on. Sad story with this one, guys. This was one that I had for a long time. This was a 9.6. I got this graded right around the year 2000. Came back a 9.6 for me. I broke it out, sent it to Mr. Kendra. Comes back a 9.4. Them is the breaks, okay? It looked great to me as a 9.6, but yeah, 9.4 is what it comes back in. And guess what? Yeah, it was a newsstand. I had high hopes for this to be a 9.8. Was not to be. Continuing this video like a couple of days later, guys, because my phone died, and then I just put it off for the next day, and anyway, we're back. We're still on the even Stevens. I did make a couple of changes. I swapped two books around because I checked out their prices. And okay, so there's certain sellers on YouTube that if they say that they have books that are candidates for 9/8, I actually pay a higher price than I usually do. Sands is one of them. Cat 60 Designs is another one. I bought a 4-book lot. Amazing 360 through Amazing 363, all Carnage books. He said all of them were candidates, and you know what? He was absolutely right. I paid $250 for all 4 books. This one came out at a 9.6. Now, I have this as an even Steven, but the truth is, it's not. This one is going to be... I should have put it out all the way over here in the jackpot, to tell you the truth. But, yeah, I counted this as like a freebie, you know. I actually don't know how much this is going to go for. I'm assuming it's probably going to go for $75 maybe. But remember, getting it pressed and getting it graded does cost some money. It's going to be close to $40 for that. And, you know, whatever is left is... So it's like pocket change for this one. But it's still... I'm still not going to lose money on it. So I'm calling it Even Steven. It goes on the Even Steven pile. Breaking even. And this one also I bought from Cat 60 Designs. It's a 9.6. Now you would think that this book is should be in the 50 to 100% profit pile. But I paid $130 for this. It was $130 for this one, and for the New Agents #1, that was the Cindy Moon cover. But this one has taken, just like, you know, in this economy, most books have dropped significantly in price. So if I can get $200 for this, you know, you're figuring 130 plus 40, that's 170. Then you still got to pay a 10% consignment fee, you know, for selling it. Yeah, I'm gonna make a couple bucks, but we're calling it Even Steven because it's just wetting my beak. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna put wet Even Stevens to wet my beak. If that, but I know I won't lose money on this. This is one of the rarer copies. This is a 3rd print variant. It's a 3rd printing. And that is Wave on the cover. So that's that. That's it for the Even Steven pile. Now we go to the 50 to 100% profit pile. Before we do that though, I want you guys to see this. These are the flops. So we're going to look at these flops. Right? That's the pile of flops. That's the pile of Even Stevens. We're going to count them. And it's going to be just about the same as the piles that we're going to make money on. So it's almost like half of them are Even Stevens and flops to the ones that actually make you some cash. Matter of fact, it might be a little bit more on the flops and evens than on the other ones, but the other ones are the ones, those are the ones that pay the bills, and that's why you take the chances, right? All right, let's go to this pile. All right, this ends up being the first book in my 50 to 100% profit pile, and the only reason is because I don't really have much into this book except for the pressing and the grading. That's pretty much it. I didn't go after that book. I didn't buy that book. That was actually a freebie from a YouTube auction. So, thank you. I even forgot who sent it to me. Might have been Sands. Might have been Sands. But came back at 9.6. So that's why it's in that pile. You know, never been a fan of characters that replace established characters, especially with their names, right? Never have been, never will be. Yeah, Miles Morales is an exception, I suppose, right? You notice that they call him Miles Morales Spider-Man, right? That's his book, Miles Morales Spider-Man. Not the first minority ever to be Spider-Man, by the way. Miguel O'Hara was the first minority to be Spider-Man. And people like them. People like the costume. I still like the costume of 2099, right? I can't say I'm a huge Miles Morales fan, but I've grown to like him based on the Spider-Verse. I mean, that was a magnificent project that they did, Marvel did. It was down their wheelhouse right there, animated, right? But yeah, that's the first book that goes into it. Wolverine #1. This is a 9.6. Now, they grade this really, really rough, as you know. The 9.4 ends up being in you know, part of the even Stevens. But this one I think I'm gonna make just a tad bit more, right? So it goes into the 50 to 100% profit pile, more than likely into the 50% profit pile. This one I actually had in the even Stevens, but I had to move it because I don't have that much into this book. It's a 9.6. At the most, what I would have in these books are probably at the most $20. Then another $40 for the press and the grade. That's 60. And I think I can sell this for over $100 because it's a newsie. I've been looking for that 9.8 on this book, man. I want that 9.8 on this book, but I'm going to keep trying, and if I don't get it, I'm going to keep selling these. But this might end up being one of those books that that blows up at one point or another. Maybe, you know, but I know that I can sell this a newsie for at least $100. So that puts me in the 50% to 100% profit margin. All right, this is a spec I owe exclusively to Jaguar Chacot. Checking out his channel, he was talking about it. I've talked about this before. Jaguar Chacot now goes by, it changed his entire format, Black Swamp Comics. Great channel. That's like a thinker's comic book channel. That's really what that is, man. The guy's a freaking genius. But yeah, nothing like that here on the Spec Collector channel, all right? You're not going to get that many insights on here like that. But a very interesting channel. Look, this has been a major success. Ever since he promoted it, or he, you know, talked about it. Well, do I want to say promote it? I guess in a way, but I went heavy on this. I think I bought like 8 of them. I have 5 9.8. That is the reason why this goes at the 50 to 100% profit pile. I've been gathering these between $50 and $60 a piece. Some of them at $45, $46 and stuff. But I would say on the average, around $55 on the average for all 8 of them. That is the reason why this goes in the profit pile. Even though if I were to say like individually, this would probably be even Steven, you know, because now you figure figure $60 and then another $40 to press it and slab it. Now that's $100. It currently goes for probably between I've seen it sell recently for $130, $120. You know, so that would be like an even because of the selling fee, right? But But no, in reality, 5 9/8 I got in this, man. It's in the 9/8 I'm gonna keep. I went from not having this book at all to now I have 2 9/6s because I just bought one from Chad RCG at 9.6, already graded though. This one, I forgot who I bought this. I might have bought this on eBay, maybe. I don't know. But I know I didn't pay more than $100 for this. At least I don't think I did. Came back at 9.6, so that puts me in the 50 to 100% profit pile. I'll take it. So the 9.6, this one, of course, is not going to be sent back. The one that I bought from RCG, I'm going to take a look at it, and I'm going to see if maybe I'll resubmit it and try to get the 9.8. That was one of the reasons why I went after that one. All right. This is the most exciting pile. This is the jackpot pile. This is why we do this. This is nice. In this submission, I sent 3 books out to Gary that I broke out of the CGC cases, and I had them regraded after his pressing. 2 of them were successful, and the other one was not. So the one that wasn't successful was the 9.6 that came back at 9.4. But this one was not as much as I thought it might. I was hoping for a 9.4 really on it. But hey, man, 9.2 is still a success. It's still big, especially from a book from 1975. 9.2, you know, this book is weird. 9.2 just sold for like $400, but it had on the pictures, it didn't look too crispy, and it was off-white to white. This one, even though, now check this out. I've said this, I've mentioned it before, okay, that, see how it says off-white to white pages? Sometimes when you clean a book, if you do a really good job cleaning a book, yes, the pages are not going to be changed on the inside. But if you clean a book good enough on the outside, yeah, it gives a perception. Maybe, you know, grading is subjective. It's the same book. The pages should be the same. Gary didn't touch the pages. Comes back white pages though. Go figure. All right, I'll take it. All right, so yeah, one went for there's $400 I said, right? A 9.2, and then 2 weeks before that, another one with white pages that looked really nice went for $580. This isn't a bad economy now. Okay, we're in a recession without a doubt. This is not the time to sell this book. This is the first appearance of Ben Reilly. Forget about the clone. This is the first appearance of Ben Reilly. Of course, he's not named Ben Reilly on here. We don't find that out until later. Does it say that? First appearance of the Spider clone. Yeah, no, it's Ben Reilly. All right. Yeah, I'm going to be definitely holding on. I went heavy on these. Right, or semi-heavy. I got 2 9.2s now. I got the 7.5. That one's on the even Steven pile. But I'm going to be holding on to these. I don't believe I'm going to sell any, even though I can make a pretty decent profit on the 9s and 9.2s that I have. But I'm going to hold on to them. I think the other 9.2 that I have might be an off-white to white pages. I might let that one go, but I'm not sure. This one right here, this one could have been in the 50 to 100% profit pile. I actually got this from the Lawman. Yeah, God rest his soul, man. Man, tragic that the Lawman passed away. He kept his books in his garage. He kept them in great condition. One of his auctions in Strictly's auctions, he came out with this book. He said this book is a candidate, and he was absolutely right. Was a candidate. 9.6. It just, to me, just missed a 9.8. I made a mistake of selling this book as a 9.8 almost 2 years ago for $675. I'm not going to sell this one just yet, I don't think, even though I could, because I have more out of my PC than I could keep trying on. It's another one I gotta see. This could have been a 50 to 100% pile, but I was thinking of maybe holding on to it and maybe having it go for more than, I think I paid 184, I think, for this. It was less than $200. It can probably go for around 400, I would say. Definitely 350 it'll sell without a doubt. But remember, even 180, let's say, and then $40 to get it pressed and graded, that puts me at about 220, 225. If I sell it for 350, I think if I put it out to sell, it would be around the 400, maybe 430 area. And if it doesn't sell, then I just wait till Rogue shows up. This was a big time success. I bought 10 of these, $30 each. This is why the 9.0 that I just got in this submission that I termed a loss, a dud, doesn't really matter too much, because I think this is now my 6th 9.8 out of that entire pile. So it's direct, but it's 9.8. It was a success, big time success. Cat 60 Designs, 9.8 on the 362. But this is also a newsstand. He said these were candidates, and yeah, one 9.6, one 9.8. But wait, remember, I bought 4 of these from 360 to 362. That's 363, 9.8, regular though, direct. Yeah, this will still sell. I mean, these were gravy. These were gravy. You know, 9.8. Even the 9.6 is gravy, because the 9.6 I'm still gonna sell, you know, for more than if I would have bought it, you know, because it was a 9.6. Here it is, look, 361, the big one. I mean, this leaves gravy on the table for me. 9.8. I didn't think this would be a 9.8. Now, the good thing about comics is they don't grade them based on cards. If this was a baseball card, a basketball card, it wouldn't have been a 9.8 or a PSA 10. It would have probably been a PSA 9 or less, because of the centering. You see that the wrap is not centered properly, but it's still a 9.8. I knew that the book was beautiful. They had no ticks. I showed this before I sent it out. But yeah, I lucked out. Came back. 9.8. This one will be definitely going out to get sold. I do have the set. I got the set back. I don't know how many 9.8s there are of this cover now. It's got to be over 3,000 9.8s, you would think, right? But hey, it's still desirable. It will always be a desirable book. It's a Spider-Man book. It's a classic cover. It's an all-time great cover, to tell you the truth. And yeah, for right now, I'm going to be keeping the set. I'm definitely keeping the newsstand, you know. But yeah, the direct this direct is going to get sold. And then here's the keeper. This is the coup de grace. Take this baby out. Yeah, Sands. This is what I mean with Sands, man. Doesn't fail me, man. This freaking guy doesn't fail me. Newsstand. Spawn number 1. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing about Spawn. Spawn has over 10,000. Matter of fact, over 11,000 9.8s. Did you know that? Over 11,000 9.8s. I've gotten quite a few 9.8s in the regular one. Not as much as my Spider-Mans. I think I've sent this book out maybe 10 times and gotten a few 9.8s and sold them for almost nothing. I mean, really, I think at one point they were going for like $100 back in the day for the 9.8s. Yeah. This one, however, if you count on eBay the amount of 9.8s that there are for Spawn number 1 of the regular cover versus the newsstand, you're probably going to count between 10 to 1 or 15 to 1. Now that would still make this one pretty common at 1,000 if that's the case, right? Because there's 11,000 of them, right around 1,000. I don't think there's 1,000 though. I think it's less than that because of how newsstands were treated. I don't even remember there being newsstands where I bought them. You know, I bought all directs. I still have a few, but this one ends up being a keeper. And I'm not a big Spawn guy. I'm just not, man. But if you're going to own a piece of history, which is Image Comics and Spawn, McFarlane, man, it's hard to resist that. To sell it, even though I'm not a huge Spawn fan. So that one, at least for the meantime, will be going into the PC. You guys tell me, would you sell it? Would you sell it or would you keep it? Would you keep it? I like keeping stuff that there's like less of or more desirable. I like keeping stuff like that. That's why I'm having a hard time with Sentai number 296. So few of those. This book is not my book. Talk about McFarlane, right? And Spawn. This is my buddy Pete's book. Pete showed me this. He had a 9.0 that came back. I looked at it and he goes, "Hey, can you believe this is a 9.0?" And I looked at it and I saw non-color breaking creases. And I said, "Yeah, I could believe it." I said, "But you know what? I know Oppressor. I know Oppressor." Yeah. Kendra, 9.6. Man, I was hoping that it would come back. Obviously a 9.8 for him. But still a 9.6 from a 9.0. That's 3 grades. That's a 3-grade bump. He was happy. Well, he's going to be happy once I give it to him. I haven't given it. Obviously, I haven't given it to him yet. But he's going to be happy. And that's the haul. That's the haul. All right, let's do some numbers. Picked a couple of books over here to just represent what we're doing, to what we did today. Every time I look at this book, man, every time I look at this book, I think about Feige. And the opportunity that Feige had to introduce a proper Illuminati, a prestigious team in all of comics, and how they just got nerfed. Just the way that they're probably going to be doing to Gore. Probably? No. Definitely. Look at the freaking commercials for gore, Thor, God of Thunder. What is it? Love and Thunder? Love and Thunder. Love should never be a part of any gore movie. Remember that. That storyline was dark. One of the darkest Thor storylines ever was the gore storyline. Over here, I'm pretty sure they're going to be telling jokes every 15 seconds. That's Disney for you. They create movies for the masses, not for the comic book fan. And you know, sometimes that comes back and burns them. And I hope this one comes back to burn them. Because Taiki Wagatuki, what the fucky, okay? I don't know how to say his name, but he sucks, man. I don't like his freaking movies. I don't want him on Thor. I can't stand it when people like praise him like if he's some type of like great filmmaker. Come on, dudes. Come on. Hela grabbing Mjolnir and breaking it in her hands like if it was nothing. Like if it was a freaking orange. That's squishing, right? Squishing. All right. Yeah, that's his sister too. Yeah. All right. Let's go over the numbers before I have a heart attack. This was the purely spec lot. Pre-screens, shipping to CGC was $12. $563 the CGC charge. 22 books came back. Is a total of $26.14 per book. That's to get it graded. So when you're speccing, yeah, man, you gotta just be very sure that you know that this is going to be really expensive. You can't just slab everything, you know. Me, I'm a gambler and I take chances. Tales of Asunder, I'm holding them. You know, it's only 50 or 100 of each of those. I think it was 50. You know, I'm happy with the 9.8 that I got. Black Panther, I paid, what was it, $5 maybe or less for those books, right? So let's say $5. So plus 26, you're looking at $31 and change, right? So I would have to break even, sell it for probably around $45 because of the selling fees and the shipping to my comic shop, right? Death Metal, same thing. You know, if you're buying something for cover price, much better than buying it for a premium, right? Because if you bought, say, Death Metal #7, the new Wonder Woman, you went out and you paid $30 for that book, and now you're paying $26 to grade it, plus the selling fees, you're gonna lose more than likely, unless you can sell it for like $75 at 9.8. Plus you gotta, you know, that's the other thing. Plus you gotta make sure it's not guaranteed you're gonna get a 9.8. You know, I missed one 9.8. I sent 3, missed 1. 2 of them came back 9.8s. So, yeah. So I mean, some of these are gonna get sold to Geigers. Of course, I'm holding, but it's expensive, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Here's another one. Yeah, this is the good one. This is the one that is going to, the box that's most of them are going to get sold. 2 Impressive Comics, shipping was $10 to them. They charged me $356 for their fees. CGC's charges were $520 to get them all graded. I put 24 books, not 25 books, because the one is my buddy Pete's book, right? So I'm taking the loss for that grade into the price of the books. So per book for 24 books comes out to $36.94. That's $37 a book. So say for the 361s, right? Well, you know, I shouldn't even count those because those are going to be wins. But let's say for this one, right now I got $37 on the book, 37, plus what I paid for the book, which was this one. I probably paid around 20 bucks. I would say no more than 30 bucks for this one. I was buying these off of YouTube auction, some of them off of eBay. This particular one, I think, you know, I can't even say who it was from, so I'm not even going to mention it because, you know what, they're not going to want their name mentioned with an 8.5. But let's say I paid $12 for this. Let's say 15. Then you're going to add, you know what, let's go with 13 bucks. So then now I got 50 bucks tied into this book. So for me to break even on this book, I would have to sell it for around 60 bucks because of the selling fees and the shipping to my comic shop. This will not sell for 60 bucks. I don't think. Do you? I don't think so. This one's totally different now. This book was going for 400. I checked the numbers on these now. These are now going for around $250 to $300, and there's not that many. There's not that many of these 9.8s. I might have the most 9.8s. So it's the very first book of Magic the Gathering. A fan base that is unbelievable. These guys are loyal to this franchise, and I don't know if they're going to be loyal to the comic book, but man, it's got a huge fan base, and that's what's exciting about these. Again, Mr. Talavera, if you don't have one, I'm sending you one, okay? By the way, Talavera also got me into the world of Asunda and Mr. Sebastian Jones. So thank you for that, my friend. Thank you for that as well. That hasn't truly really panned out yet, Niobe, but I have high hopes for that. High hopes for that. I don't even know if that book has even sold those errors that I got. These right here, I don't have numbers because I sent these out to Mr. Kendra, but they're going to be less than that. As a matter of fact, more than likely it's going to be around $3 or $4 less because of the fees that CGC had back then, and also Mr. Kendra only charged $12 a book to press those. So yeah, I'll take it. So for this, you know, I paid, I don't know, between probably around $10 a book. Let's say $12 a book again for these. Let's just say with shipping and all that. Plus another, call it $33 at the most. So then now I have tied into it 45 bucks, right? 45 bucks, and I know I can sell it easily for $250 for sure. And I guess how many? I mean, it's a massive success for this. This is another massive success. I mean, so many. I got so many 9/8s on this, but the reason I'm sending some of these to get sold is because I want to be in the black. Always take your profit, and then you can ride with the rest, but always take a profit, guys. Always take your profit. That's why I get so many books. I take my profit. Now, I haven't done it with Something's Killing the Children yet, but at some point I will. Listen, dudes.
Don't try this at home, kids. I am a professional. Later, dudes.